So, y'all know I'm kind of a policy geek. I received this email which explained some things to me, and it said, the Mandatory Minimums Act by design drives mass incarceration and perpetuates the effectiveness of the '94 crime bill. It doesn't allow a judge to consider the individual factors of a case, so once convicted, you'll face a sentence regardless. And following the enactment of the crime bill, New York State slashed programs for inmates that would credit them earned time off, so no further consideration into their well-being. Hell, the cash bail system was invented to keep poor people in jail and for longer periods. The state receives payment for every person behind bars. They pay salaries to correction officers, judges, prosecutors, and DAs. So clearly the game was built to funnel hundreds of thousands of people into cages. Doesn't that sound familiar? The fact that all these systems in place are meant to cause more harm under the guise of keeping the streets safe is sickening. Freedom is a money thing. But I digress. The email continued on about how incarceration does little to nothing in repairing the damages inflicted on the community or the family structure. It just causes more chronic health issues, perpetuates abject living conditions. It is an intergenerational rejection of our ancestors and relatives. From '94 to 2014, the number of people sentenced to 25 years or longer increased from just 26 to 1,130 in New York State. I remember my middle school history lesson, which taught that the Eighth Amendment of the Constitution explicitly protected citizens from cruel and unusual punishment. One whole ass system amalgamated. Dispersed so called French groups try to penetrate it using legalese language, and that's what makes it so complicated. But the fact is, it was all rigged from the beginning, as plenty of defense attorneys ain't worth shit. You sit in jail because you can't post bail. DA gets paid and possibly a kickback if you're convicted. It's all for profit. That's why I raise so much fuss against the cycle. That benevolent savior complex that's meant to absolve the racists and the fascists from their past work, sinister behavior, need not cry about it, even though that shit is funny as hell. Has always been in plain sight. To right the wrongs, we must go back. I'm trying to keep the people informed. The deplorable, so-named important fuckers are ridiculous, but I'll end with this. We must always flaunt our own importance and focus on the greater scheme. So that way we can rise up out of this shit, because real talk, the motherfuckers that run it ain't really bigger than anyone else up in here, man. I'm just saying.